Hello everyone. This is Wayne in the Philippines with another day in his life in the Philippines. Some people dream of life. Wayne lives his life one day at a time. So relax and enjoy. And without a doubt, here is your host, Wayne.
Hello, my name is Wayne. Welcome to my channel, Life in the Philippines as I see it. I'm your host Wayne, and I'm going to dig into a subject a little deeper than most of the YouTubers did out there, about human trafficking. And I'm going to show you the causes of it, and I'm going to show you some of the people that's been convicted of it and the stuff that these people have done, which is not good. All right, let's get right into it now. I don't want to waste too much time. All right, human trafficking is the act of forceful transporting or recruiting persons for the purpose of exploitation, which may include prostitution or sexual exploitation, forced labor or slavery, or removal of the organs. Global statistics, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimated that about 2.5 million victims of human trafficking worldwide at any given period of time. Forms of exploitation, we got 79% of sexual, we got about 18% of forced labor, and 3% of others, which is organs removed, or forced marriages, or exploitation in begging or welfare. Over in South Asia, in East Asia and Pacific, we got 47% forced labor and 44% sexual exploitation. And then you got 9% of other forms of human trafficking here. Now, according in 2012, they had 1,376 victims of human trafficking nationwide, and 645 more victims in the first semester. However, the true number of victims in the Philippines is likely much, much more. Many crimes go unreported because the victims lack information on human trafficking, because they don't really know what it is, and crimes are concealed by the victims or the violators, and the families of the victims accept these situations as a normal way of life, which is beyond my thinking. And between 2005 and 2013, there have been no convictions, 110 convictions, There have been only 110 convictions for human trafficking related crimes in the Philippines. And these are the forms of it. You got sex trafficking, you got forced labor for industrial and agriculture fields, you got debt bondage, you got forced begging, And the highest number of human trafficking cases are in Manila, down in Cebu, and up in Angeles City, and down in cities of Mindanao. And the factors that cause human trafficking in the Philippines is poverty, lack of economic development, unemployment, gender inequality, lack of education, and sex tourism. And I could explain every one of those. And this is the man that everyone on the YouTube is talking about, Mark Catley, 45. And he used the alias as Dino Ferrari and William Mondina. He was arrested 10 p.m. on Friday. This is July 21st, 2018 when this article come out. And the case stemmed from a complaint of a mother whose children, both female, 14 and 15, fell victims of catling. So she had the guts enough to stand up and go up against it. So that was good. And according to Catley, he would take nude photos of these girls and sometimes have sex with them and post pictures online, which he would sell to the black market, as they call it. And then you got here's Mark Catley's picture, and if you notice, the woman in the picture is supposed to be his wife, and it's supposed to be a little girl. But through my online research, which Google is your friend, I found this here. Now you remember in the previous article he used Mondina, William Mondina, as his alias, along with last name of Ferrari. Now this is Mondina Enterprises, and this is a PayPal for B-Bots only, which is this is Cambita Laguna. So her picture's up there, so he's it's a PayPal account, and it's still active. And I did it through my own research. I'm surprised the other YouTubers didn't find it, you know. And not only was he arrested, but you got this American, and it was July the 2nd, 2018, when they got him. This was 2 days, July the 4th in the United States. And they rescued 3 women, all ages of 21, from suspect. Now you trying to say that a 21-year-old is not human trafficking, but we can't suspect or calculate what this man was doing to these 3 women in this hotel room now, can we? And not only is the men involved in it, but you got this woman down here that's 59 years old, Maretta Mesquite, and she was down in San Joe's Antique, and this was a woman, and she was a qualified trafficking in person, was arrested. So she was now for human trafficking too. So she was doing the same thing. And then here's July the 26th. You got a Japanese man, lived in the Philippines for about 23 years, married, 47 years old, fluent in Sagala and Filipino, and he's involved in a mail-order bride activities in human trafficking. The National Bureau of Investigation got him on Thursday. And you got this story here on these 34 guys down the fish farm down in Tobacco City, promised to be paid $5,000 monthly. 15-year-old boys left their home to go down to work on a fish farm run by these Chinese. And they're expected to work from 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. That's over 12 hours, without no breaks, and no leaves, no lunch breaks, no going to get a water, and all that kind of stuff. And then they're thrown to sleep in places that look like pigsties, and they were given foul-smelling food. But when they recruited them, they told them they'd give them 5,000 pesos a month to feed the fish, which sound like good money to them, here in the Philippines. But then when they get over there, then they get over there and then they board these vans. It's got broadcasting network, some kind of TV station or something, so the law enforcement won't flag them down. Then when they get over yonder to where they're going, after they already picked them up and took them where they was going to the fish farm, they told they'd only get 3,500, which is half of the 5,000. And they're going to charge them 200 pesos for every day that they're sick or not reported to work. So you couldn't get sick. And they started at 4 o'clock in the morning, haul bags of feed to feed the warehouse, to feed the fish cages. Ever how far the warehouses were, to go to the cages where the fish are, I mean, you do that from 4 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and you do this all day long, and that's torture. But they got out of that. Thank God somebody spoke up for it. And then over here you got 7 arrested for human trafficking in Quezon City, and this is July the 27th, 2018. See, this is only a couple of days, this has happened all over the Philippines, from one part to the other. Excuse me. 7 people were arrested and 22 victims of human trafficking were rescued after Philippine National Police were called. Raided the 96 Essence Spa in Quezon City around 10:55 p.m. This is at night. And 5 of them were minors, so they got them. Then you got this guy here is 40 years old. He's planning to come to the Philippines to have sex with a 7-year-old girl. And he's gone to prison. He's already gone. This happened in August of 2018. Thank God they stopped him before he got here. Douglas Thomas Pervert, 40 years old. Paid a woman in the Philippines. He paid a woman in the Philippines that needed money to pedicure girls between 6 and 12 years old and had them stripped nude on Skype. He also asked her about prices for sex with the minors of various ages. Now his plan was coming to the Philippines to have sex with kids, with children. Now the man pleaded guilty to 4 charges of causing a child under 16 to engage in a sexual activity outside of Australia, and 5 of using a carriage service to solicit child pornography. In other words, he paid a Filipino woman over here to recruit girls for him, to bring them on Skype in order to get money. And the woman charged him $60,000 for a 7-year-old, $30,000 for a 9-year-old, and $20,000 for a 12-year-old. And he encouraged a 9-year-old to strip on a camera while he watched by Skype, accessing videos of naked 6-year-old girl causing a 12-year-old girl to expose themselves on Skype. This is sick. This is really sick. Then you got a man over here in Germany. Now, this happened in January 2018, same year. arrested a 52-year-old man on suspicion that he was traveling to the Philippines to sexually abuse these children over here. He communicated with Filipino citizens and offered to pay them the children ages 9 to 12. The man is also suspected of obtaining more than 1,900 images of child sex abuse. And the man got arrested because somebody found out about it and tipped him off. Now this other one here, Privilaged, now this one here takes the cake. You will not believe what this man had done. But they got him. His crimes are so bad that he's in jail in Candiario, and they're gonna put him before a firing squad in the Philippines and kill him. And this 53-year-old man from Australia. He's a father of 2 from Melbourne, Australia. Now, he's in a Philippine prison right now charged with some of the vilest acts known to humanity. And he laughed and joked and acted no emotion because he killed these people. And they told him they're going to send him, when they send him to prison, well, it's like a holiday to him because he wants a mobile phone, fresh beef and pork and chicken. But the changes might change to go the other way because they're thinking about putting him before a firing squad. I don't know where they've done it or not, but I'll keep you informed. You take this little girl here in the green shirt. This is one of Scully's Filipino victims. And on camera, he filmed her while he raped her and tortured, and then he killed her on camera and recorded it all. And then he took a 5-year-old girl, a 5-year-old innocent Filipino girl, and he hung her upside down as he raped her and tortured her with 2 of his buddies. Recorded it on the video, and then he sold it for photophiles around the world. And this man here sexually abused an infant baby now. And he filmed and tortured and raped young girls as he made them dig their own graves. And he also buried an 11-year-old girl under the floor of the house he was renting after making a film of him raping her and then strangling her to death. The capital punishment went out when Marcos was in reign. But they're going to bring it back because of this man. They're in the court hearing where he faced the first 6 of 75 charges. He had 75 charges brought up against him. All he did was laugh and joke with his co-accusers, for 4 men. And he was the mastermind behind it all. The stream sex and torture video syndicate based in southern cities of Candiario and surrounding towns. Scully fled to the Philippines from Australia because he was charged with fraud in 2011, so he ran to the Philippines to get away from it. And Scully lured children away from impoverished parents with the promise of food and education, or used teenage girls to help him kidnap them. So he would use other Philippine girls to get other Philippine girls. And then he would drug them, the children, and he made films of him raping and tormenting them for international pornophile ring. This is one of the websites, Daisy's Destruction. Operating a secret child pornography site on the dark web called No Limits Fun, he sold the videos for up to $10,000 per view. Charged them $10,000 to watch him rape and torture little children. And then he got his girlfriend to help him. Alvarez had been taken in by Sully as his girlfriend after he met her as a 14-year-old prostitute. And she stayed with him. And then she helped him torture these young Filipino children. The little girl screams and cried as she was being beaten and raped and tortured but defiled by Scully and two of his mass accomplishments. This man used hot wax, a lighter, and barbed wire, submerged in water and sex aids, and Scully sold his videos to customers in Germany and US and Brazil. His vile crimes went largely undetected until two of his victims, cousin Queenie and Daisy, 9 and 12, escaped. He'd offer food and shelter to the girls were taken in and raped and tortured and held captive wearing dog collars and chains for 5 days like an animal. And his girlfriend, known as Miss Scully, made them perform sexual acts upon each other while Scully filmed it. On camera, they were recording digging their own graves while being continually raped. Alvarez reported to let them go out of guilt. You picture this, two Filipino girls out there digging a hole that they're going to be molested and beaten and tortured and everything else before they put them in the ground. But this woman started feeling guilty and she let them go. And then she started feeling guilty and her conscience started getting there, so she led them to the apartment where the 11-year-old girl was buried, and to another address where Scully raped and tortured his other child victims. And all this done, what this man has done, he pleaded not guilty to rape and trafficking of 2 teenage girls and is held in Candiario City Jail. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my presentation on this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it wasn't too graphic and but I wanted to wake you up. I wanted to be straightforward. Like I said in my videos, I will show the truth to the good side and the bad side, and this is the terrible side of the Philippines. These little children over here, they're in the street, and all these people want to come over here, and all they want to do is sexually molest them and torture the little children. I'm not pleased by this, and I know God of heaven is not pleased by this. And I know viewers out there are not like this. Mark Canty, he run a dating site over there because, you know, the Philippines is poor. There's no place to work except go abroad or something. And these people get lied to by recruiters because they got the recruiters, and the recruiters are just as bad as the people they're going to go to work for. And maybe you can trust some of them, maybe you can't, but you don't know until they recruit you take your passport away, and then you're over there stuck. There's no place to cry for help. Nobody's going to help you. Because you're in another country and you ain't got no way to get out of there. And that's the sad part about it. And I'd wish they'd had more jobs over here for the Philippines to work, so they would not have to go in that situation, because people's taking advantage of it. People are taking advantage of the poverty in the Philippines of the people. And they're losing their life because of it. And that's the sad part. Nobody should lose their life for supporting, wanting to support their family for a better life. And they have human trafficking in America too. If you do your research, which I already did, your big cities over there are California, Texas, and Florida. That's where 100% of it goes in America. Now, I know California's got it, and Texas and Florida. But that's your big cities. But California's got everything. They're like Las Vegas. Any place you got go-go bars, men want to go look at women in a sexual fashion, you're going to have this. And it really breaks my heart, and I know it'll break my viewers' heart. It is damn sad that a sick individual would want to molest a child, a little bitty child, an innocent child, a child that has to come into the world. But he's here, and he's not supposed to be tortured. He's supposed to be taken care of. He's a blessing from God, because some people can't have children. And children are not a liability, and they're not a tax asset, and they're not something you can sell for money to keep your sorry butt up because you don't want to do nothing. You can't tell me you can't, because I know you can't. Ain't nothing impossible. I'm going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed this presentation. Hope you got something out of it, and I hope you learned. This human trafficking needs to stop. And it's not only in the U.S. and the Philippines, but it's in Africa and Honduras and Saudi Arabia and India and all that. But they're cracking down on it. They're stopping the offenders from coming, because they're on the sex offenders over there. I was reading online where they got the ban on there where they're stopping them. This past year, in I think July, they put a ban on it. They done stopped 185 Americans from coming over here because they had sex offender on them. And then they stopped, I think, 85 coming from Australia, and I think 75 coming from Germany. Because the one thing about it, let me tell you something, a child molester is like this. It don't matter if it happened 22 years ago. That's the worst crime that I believe you could ever commit, is molesting a child, because it's innocent. That is an innocent human being. So if you got children, make sure they're very well protected. And if you're over here and they're over there, I hope you can trust the people, because it happens in the family atmosphere too. Because some family members you can't trust. And that goes for everywhere. And also, it's not good, you know. It's just the way the world is now. It needs to get worse. We got a voice out here in YouTube, so we need to stop this human trafficking stuff, because it's not right. I believe in, a man meeting a woman that's good and stuff like that, as long as it's a certain age. You don't want a man that's 50 years old coming over here after a 5, 6, 7-year-old, 10 or 15-year-old girl. That's not right. I don't care how anybody looks at it or how their opinion is. That's just not right. That's your daughter. It looks like your daughter walking beside of you instead of your wife. And that's why they frown on it. Some people frown on it, including the people in the Philippines. They don't like it. But what can they do about it? It's not right. Because that tells me they're just sick. Because I'm still a child. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video and it was informative and it made you think and everything. I really appreciate it, and thank you for stopping by. My name is Wayne, live in the Philippines as I see it, and I will bring you more videos on more subjects, and I will touch on them. All right, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for stopping by. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you ain't already, and I appreciate you watching. All my subscribers, thank you. And to everybody, a good night or a good morning, wherever you are in the part of the world. And I always say, God bless you. It's my prayer. And I'll leave you. And I'll wrap it up, and we'll catch you again. Thank you so much. God bless.